Jatabiribo. Odehyeeba. Edwenani ba wodija. Wonum jana wo fija. Genti obia wan ye betie. Wuntie kwa wo betie. By force. By force. Na wuntia wo betie.
Okay. TieGH. We are most grateful for your time this afternoon too. This is the the hottest social political program in Africa as well as in Ghana, and we are living another day. 6th of March 1957, and today is 6th of March 2017. 1957 was Ghana's Independence Day, and from then till now, there's a lot of things for us to talk about it. TieGH, we say from I Trust TV. Makajo si ni fiase mi enka krubia so asem. Enne nkomo ebedie no awre hosem. Ni gisem. Enne dai ena Ghana. Ana Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame, the only Kwame, Junior Jesus. Kwame was Ghana for. You are free forever. 6th of March 1957, Ghana attained its independence. Ne free hono and sembebre na because there's a lot of issues. Different types of political ideologies, foreign interventions, political intimidations, economic crisis, coups and militaries intervene. A lot of things are Ghana ya witnessing. In 60 years and you win. A dear na Ghana a dear ben yesu free. A dear ni free. A hifana what is the way forward? What is the policy directions? Where is it? Government go, government comes. What are some of the pragmatic measures? Fiscal policy, and as even a long-term policy. I be protecting on my future. Where is it? Because and then another the president has given us a marvelous speech. This man, Papa, we know just say when it comes in terms of speeches, or you good. Nah, the ABC say, Does it have effect on the people, on the lives of the people, Ghanaian people? Because, or no dear, if you met my brand say, this man is a Pan-Africanist, and he believes in Africa, he believes in Ghana, that's what I say, I believe in Ghana, I believe in Ghana, yes, the man believes in Ghana. But when it comes to the action plan for a country to move forward, the people, and Kofono no muye jumano, or what to say one, do we really get devoted persons, selfless persons? Do we get that to work for Mother Ghana? It's an issue. It's never been come out for Ghana at 60. Independence, no. And you just only say you call school children as a military call march pass. We are coming like this. Just for that. Ni inauguration, ni akọ transfer akeke. Nyesa. E nsem bebe nyema wa say ye transfer ni yehwe. 60 years. Yetimi solve dumso na. Are we still in Dumso? Energy crisis, power outages, are we still in it for the 60 years? 60 years. School children under trees. Yatima eradicating ana. 60 years. Where is our health care system? Where is it? 60 years. Your defense, it is a security, it is saying. 60 years. Do we have a strong economy? Or even a moderate or medium economy? Do we have it as a country like ours? 60 years, we are say life expectancy. We say lower income, middle income, and those are at the top. And in fact, where is our position? And how many years? We say for the next 20 years, Ghana is going to reach, or Ghana is going to attain this figure in terms of inflation, in terms of GDP, in terms of building stronger economy. Where is it? 60 years. 60 years, Ghana. Have we done some changes, amendments in our constitution now? And what some major errors? And what problem are you just say yes, constitution? No? 60 years, you just say yes, constitution. No? I'm gonna give power back to the people. Have we made our mind for that? 60 years. Politicians, send almost in civil societies. And it boils down to the ordinary person, ordinary citizen, our attitude, mentality, the mindset. 60 years, Wa hear me no. Say na usi hu assess ho on the community that you living in. Say na usi assess ho. Or community a woman no. Say na usi assess ho in terms of sanitation, security, lawlessness. 60 years driver need to me passing red light traffic so no watwam 60 years obetimi ewiase hemfa na behu sade no eye niam nketenkete Ghana we have to bow down in shame your problem ti osunti abeti ene empanifo ofiase me no bedi nkomo straight away me introduce some nice gentleman bia mamo and afi opani ba akoso me sade na kan ye twese ideas must be join here the man is Mr. TieGH or ye British citizen. He's from UK. And was saying the spirit, he said, the spirit told me to go to Africa because that's where I am from. So the man is in Ghana. He's an entrepreneur and also investor. He's here to join us to talk about Ghana's future. So Mr. TieGH, straight away, you are most welcome to our program. Thank you for coming. Straight away, NFA Ambassador Anopoku, or yeah, leader of Democracy Africa. One also Watana UK for a long time. Na Oba Rollins Amomu 1979 80 to 81 coming Armed Force Revolutionary Council. Now Oba PNDC no say chairman our Ashanti region. Our Papa J former President Rollins in the body pa no. The man is in the house. Mr. No Akwaba. Openi sebo kode. Ye that's here to Zafro Swaba. That's it. All right. Saso na me say Mr. Isa Ibrahim on see a consultant, international consultant. Oba say nafi ye be church adwen said the Benin Babu in the Swiss baby near whom is the state I won. Nothing ye be near to 2 anymore. So straight away, Kruning Namama say, aha, headed by Adam Safo, my TV director. I salute you, big bro. Atobra, I ready. Maybe I said, yes, I come fire and we but big up, brother, big up. Sasuna, announce now peace, big up to you. Poku, the action can continue. Straight away, but we are to see for messages in the file TV. That's a WhatsApp number big go for fire mine. Yes, you have a kind Eddie Mamo. Yes, you have a kind Eddie Mamo. I said, man, in fact, Ghana assisting home. Now, no, your papa can your papa so I can't straight away. Some catches high hottest social political program. Ghana has seen trust TV in Kwani your chance. I say you can. Tiwa, big up to you. Oh, Jinchimini Mama, I'm saying Nana Snafin. I was a phone. I am straight away. I'm say free. Mr. TieGH or Mr. TieGH. Once again, you are welcome.
Give thanks. Give
right.
Thanks.
So Ghana is at 60 years for today. And we are celebrating our 60 years of getting our independence. As long as you've been here for maybe for 10 years or more. You've witnessed a lot of things that has not benefit this country.
That's right. That's right.
What do you make of Ghana's independence?
Well, it's funny because 10 years ago, we had Ghana at 50.
Yes.
So which was very important. And straight after we had Ghana at 50, we had the inquiry because of the amount of money that was stolen and taken away. And it was live televised and everybody saw it. And the next thing, nothing happened.
Yes.
All the guns went missing, this went missing, that went missing. And after a long inquiry, no one was held accountable. So that told us a lot. And we've now 10 years on
another 10 years again.
Another 10 years again under the same government. And the question is how long before the inquiry at 60, Ghana at 60? Because there's been no change.
Yes.
We celebrate, we're good at celebrating, having parties, you know, but the celebration today in Independence Square was concerning to me from the perspective of it seemed to be celebrating colonialism more than indigenous African
We believe in colonialism.
Well, if you look at Independence Square, look at the behavior, look at the soldiers, look at the way that the trooped out the guards. Everything was a colonial way of doing things. There was almost no African identity there whatsoever in Independence Square. And I mean, that must concern anybody. So that's a problem. Okay,
so let's link it to the international development. When we want to brand ourselves into the international market, as a country, as where we are coming from, 60 years, do you say we have achieved something or we haven't achieved or we are down?
Well, everybody achieves something, but to be honest with you, if you're going to compare 60 years ago, it's the easiest way to compare is to look at people who lived under both systems. So let's say people who are 80, 70 plus.
Yes.
If you talk to anybody who's over 70 who lived under colonial rule and live now, most of them will tell you that it was better under colonial rule, unless they are politicians themselves who are benefiting from the new system.
So from your point of view, you want to tell us that back then was good than now?
I'm telling you by what people who lived under both. I've never lived under both systems.
Oh.
But those who are 80, 70 plus in Ghana, who are not politically in the politician parties, go and speak to them. Every time I've spoken to them, they've always said things were better, education was better, health service was better, the roads were better, the train systems were running perfectly. So they're saying that it was better, and you have to accept because they've lived under the two systems.
Okay, so what do you think that has caused that?
It's clear. It's mismanagement.
Some will say our failure in terms of developing this country, 60 years. What do you think?
It's corruption and mismanagement.
Corruption and mismanagement.
Yeah.
In what extent?
Well, mismanagement the mismanagement of the economy.
What are some of the factors
that cause mismanagement? Mismanagement is mismanagement. The corruption is part of the mismanagement.
Corruption.
Yeah, that's part of mismanagement.
Yes.
That is part of it. So our resources are not being managed well. Our majority of our things are not being managed for the benefit of the whole, only the minority.
Okay.
And what's worrying about that is that exactly was what was happening under colonialism.
So back then it was like that, and our people to us inherited it.
That's
and
right.
they are opposing it to the people.
That's exactly what it was. It was the majority was suffering at the hand of a minority. And now we have a minority in government in these positions who are doing the same thing as they saw their colonial masters do. They're living well, but the people are going backwards, suffering. Economics are getting worse. Today, the president spoke about it himself. He said he's not made any progress economically. We thought that with political independence would come economic independence, and it hasn't happened. We're under the IMF, we're under the World Bank. We don't have a real independence in Ghana.
We don't have a real independence.
Not a real independence.
But we celebrated independence today.
We can celebrate anything we want.
So it's like it's just like you do want to tell us it's like a political gimmick, or we just have interest of doing just a celebration, but not in the interest of the people or impact of the economy.
Well, that's my view. I don't see how Ghana can really claim to be an independent country.
Oh, really?
Well, if you're children, babies, they're not independent. They have to rely on their parents. So what happens next is that we're not inwardly dependent. We're not depending on our own resources. We're not eating. 500 years ago, people ate what they grew, whatever livestock they had. These were independent people. These were people who didn't have someone giving them handouts. They didn't have banks to live after them to feed them. So they had to be independent. They had no choice.
Okay. All right. Hold your fire. That's Mr. Shades Girls. That is the man. Or say, or believe say Ghana. Just say, understanding that colonial system now, any operating. We don't have any trust, or we don't have any future in terms of say, yes, celebrate 60 years or whatever, or Independence Day, and making impact here. Or trace the humanity back in the days, and information straight away. Ambassador Suha, our colonial masters now, British, once we are British. In terms of comparing these two countries, a dear no more year, or one country. What's a normal way or more freedom, the so called freedom, no more de Mayano. Dear no one country, and I didn't young for one internal. Or man, because I confused now. Straight away, Meko break up, but me come home, but just a minute. Me buy a better also. Ambassador, better take the lead in or better baton or nothing, also the FM. Nayantini may be as nothing, who we are, and then the baby who will be a Pesiaco. Straight away, me come home, but see and cover me, and me bassia.
Odehyeeba edwene ba wodija wonum jana wo fija genti obia wan ye betie wuntie kwa wo betie by force na wuntie wo betie.
Okay, abusia for mama kwa babio. Trust TV ni na nkomo ne be de fia be hye. The ideas man so join me. Enti ye be di nkomo. But straight away mama nko ambassador anopoku ho Democracy Africa. Africa dey ba kwa na so important for us say we always talk about democracy everywhere. What is it about? Has it helped us? Maybe we say democracy democracy. It has tended to be democracy because when you see some of that political discussion here and there, you shocked straight away. Mama nkono ambassador akwa baby.
Yeah.
Ambassador Ghana for mabru ni Ghana for a ye na da oman ye de adache no. Mu na mo ni afi no ye pesa mo boaye. Ghana this 60 years. eye moye enye moye so ade
that's what's for when you can
no kure
Ghana 60 years obi ani age ebum etwa or say cake mu any ade
champagne
wines nanso wo hwe se Ghana 60 no a ye nuru ho
ye nuru 60 years no
ye nuru ho wo hwe development ya aka ye nuru ye ya wo hwe ye nuru ho physically ye nuru ho but spiritually ye nuru ho if you say wo hwe emra nkroma agi baton no abrofuru man sika nko betim dia develop this country very well. Sata na population in this country any sika man no ko betim dia development schools hospitals roads all this thing and nyuma say industrial areas industrial and society we na no on government man the government no operate Africa president enti masika kakra na abrofuru jaye no e west
oh sir
ya ntuma nkoyanim ye marketer obi aso se nkroma ya de ye nka se nkroma anya de because we are independent amayen but what is the next woji baton no wan fa ntumrika no waji guta
but open side brand na okra na wo ho na mu amforce AFRC na wo ho according to the some say nkroma baaye no just 9 years na hwem enema mo ye beauty say at the hydro akoso dam Kwame Nkrumah University Legon fact some of the number of factories they ain't me a jute factory can factory in Tamale so wanya bi say
British government me clever na on person on scale odma won ko betim da very more than that
no more expect on fanya Ghana nko
nya Africa
Ghana president
yeah nya Africa
but no idea ne so person here
Africa
ite maye sika no
ekodi Africa so instead of building a Ghana no wono ye say o person ye oje Africa unity no now we be president
so United States of Africa no nka
I don't know e wona dwen mu enu ntina CIF we wura mu a mo yi ni free ho no that's not because no idea no nanka so ye Ghana no nye no or continue
okay so for now o my hu the antecedent of say Ghana problem ye face no o person say ye blame Kwame Nkrumah na
ye blame Kwame Nkrumah but e blame omo na wo no ho no say president bia wo advise
yes that's a cabinet
yeah cabinet no na say come encourage say we have this so let's do this
but
in different development
na me ni obade ye better say Kwame Nkrumah so powerful say even or pass a law of detention so how can his ministers advise him
yeah no law of detention see education so what educate to people so what my educate to people number you are baby and enye it's not Kwame Nkrumah no office say esan so okuta power into the enipa what do you say the power no ene ehunu nipa no but na say go educate people and this detention no the chief go for go keke so said ye eniema nko ye na Africa na nkofo be quiet
okay
ye ntimi nkasa
okay obanema muso ade wo de that na mo wo hwa de na British government were expecting Ghana say nke yenye ye ntimi anya yi say still ye wo be ye wo ya
good British is one of the best country in the world and obia person otena abroche bia person otena Britain why because they have wisdom
British have the wisdom. They have
knowledge. They have every day they two and a month for every day because Osha Ghana you need development development week like industrial areas like roads now from Kwame Nkrumah pencil up to now Kumasini Accra you knew that government the be which means it's not really developed properly. So, obiaba oba no oba no konwan bi no jagu ho no okọ. Ochina na se na wo hrabe ye.
Na no nya sure say bia ye na ye lack policy direction na say e bia long term policy betimi aboa a country na yetime develop
long term policy na oka no. Eno ne ade a Ghana ye hia.
Na wan na ese ode ba wan na betimi aye.
Okay, see.
Kwame Nkrumah ye bia na wanye bi.
Kwame Nkrumah ebe ye bi. na sanka coup d'etat nso ebe say the development na wo country ha
e aban na wo no Rollins aban no mo be say Ghana ho
be honest the revolution no am wa Ghana
so now and they will catch me show say revolution say Ghana
am wa Ghana because development na here no you be say e be trans of 17 years 17 good years
wow
now obi na do atena so 2 months watima aye budget ya ma Ghana I just say how do I explain say ama Ghana ye wato ye yem
okay
obi abata 2 months watima ye or say budget ya Ghana for pay so what I say ni ye yatima 17 good years ye ntipa anya hwea
hey
tell me say dia defana yeah town yeah
open hold your fire me ba asema opa ne ka no empani say bomo chiche firi nsu ase be catch us odan chima wu a ye nyina chinyi papa no to no posina dia asante region those are na dey
June
4th chairman and back in the days yakasa obi a June 4th chairman onim the nitty gritty in that political you know onim it that man say 17 years on by no o my boy was in Ghana straight away yen hwe enema e course independence square kakra bi na yen pick ade mi fi ona across the country no yen ko be pizza bi Ashanti region na yen hwe bi kakra yen pick bi na yen ka ho asem se bia dachi bi so bi afrim me ba yen ko ba bia me ba
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, very soon the president will march back his reverend side with some of them displaying special marching committee to commemorate the day. Ghana and motherland is 60 years today, and 60 years in the life of the country is no mean achievement. Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to achieve independence. Government wrote all the three soldiers, that's Sergeant Ajay, of Amalatico and Private Ogazolamle on the 28th February 1948, followed by the rest of the biggest paved the way for independence. Continue to have an impact on the country. Our greatest achievement in 60 years as a country is our practice of democracy and sustainable development. So Ghana has had its fair share of challenges. Decided to go a democratic way in 1992. The country has since had a bit of hope, not only sub-Saharan Africa, but also Africa as a whole.
Okay. Thank you. We are back again. Hi, Trust TV. It's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We are 2 p.m. sharp. And program, you draw plan B to suit say. We would have lost from our road because on this the same date 1979, Malaysia got their independence. Some countries like Singapore and another some minor countries. But so compare, and now Kuala Lumpur, that's the capital of Malaysia. Now compare capital of Ghana. There's mad difference. And we say why? Straight away, Mami ma opening ambassador for an call ideas man or the man who joining me. Also, what's in the US, America, and US, but on Ghana, same, na you miss say celebration of half a ambassador. It will said, yeah, match here. Sana, as I said, you celebrate and command, I say you be different from us. They be another student, you won't come out to us, just like that.
Yeah, and then yeah, my young who happiness, it's an idea, that's a right thing. I say, my money in a home, so. Sebia fan say cake win the HR na be to be all the council in the country so obi o council area bia ko council now so ko bibia cup of tea bi and I say coke bi enye say Fraster house on kuna say enjoy no
they should be also enjoyment and back to the people
what say enjoy it doesn't like that. Yeah, independence. It's my independence. Sorry.
What you make? Kasa.
Sorry. You are independent. We are independent. We are all independent. And you want to go and go to Fraster house and whiskey say own mama amame. What you say? And you say you enjoy there. And it should be a proper way.
Okay.
Put things in all councils. So obi owo area ha monko ha monko say jisika but monko anijie.
Okay.
Because you anijie.
Okay.
So what you say?
Okay, hold your fire. Ambassador Ano Pokono way leader of Democracy Africa. Straight away, Maminko ideas man or Mr. Isa Ibrahim or yeah consultant, IB Success Consultancy or enough experience in life in terms of developing a country or personal life. Mamisha say if you know Uncle Hobio. Obeni Akwaba. Saboko there. Right. I hope so witness say Ghana yes celebrated 60 years and 1957. Yes. So what do we make of our celebration and the 60 is our age and the country at large?
Okay, first of all, we have TieGH. Yes, and everybody, including producer and my colleagues, already joined. I think our celebration today should be a sober reflection of where we have come from as a country, where we've reached and where we want to go. And I would put our situation into perspective. One with hope and hopelessness, depending on which path we channel from today.
Right.
That is my definition, I'll put it. If you look at the beginning, like countries that begin the same level with Ghana, okay, like you mentioned Malaysia and other things, okay, where they have reached in life, it tells you that they develop a path and they be consistent with that path. That is why they've been able to reach
where they are
this far. Okay, ours has now been a path with a goal, you know, a long-term, medium-term goal. Ours has been a cause of, you know, masses with blind leaders. Okay, so anyway they move and they get a knock in the wall, we just start and say, look, let's shift to another direction. We get knock in the wall, we think. So we've been just doing rotation after we're not making any progress.
So person catch say you're blind.
Yes,
in terms of economic blindness.
Yes, they're blind. Okay, because look, our economy was designed, colonial economy that we have now was designed for only 400,000 population. What is our population now?
27 million.
And we're still doing the same pattern?
Only just a dam, only one dam that will depend on it.
No, are we still doing the same thing? Right? 400,000 economic design for the colonial masters. They've left. We have now 27 million population and we're still using the same economic terms. How can you tell me you are developing a middle income status or wherever you want to term it, right? Still you have high infant mortality rate. Women still go to hospital and die. Okay, you go to the village, people cannot get access to water. You know, access to water, quality drinking water. People are dying aggressively because of brewery ulcer. Okay, and you tell me you're developing
60 years.
60 years? No, you're not serious.
Oh,
okay,
you're not serious.
No.
Wow.
Okay, we a country. our only path where we make progress is a life of elites who only know how to identify a luxurious life, buying expensive cars, living in on more mansions, okay,
business
and
class,
flying the business class, okay. That is the path our leaders are able to make progress. But when you're talking about the development, the progress of the ordinary people, we are way behind. I would even say we are maybe 2 years. Not talking about 60 years. No, we have not.
Oh, say 2 years.
2 years. Yes, because the basis of life, the basis of life is water, okay, food, okay, shelter. We don't have it. We don't even have the basis of life. Then you talk about education and health, okay. How many citizens, okay, can access quality health care if they don't have money?
Wow.
How many? Now go to every domestic home in Ghana and you find out they're using sachet water to drink. So if my grandmother who live in the village cannot afford, because the World Health statistics indicate that, right, over 1.6 million people in Ghana live below $1 a day. So how do they afford to buy a sachet water, which is almost about 4 cities?
Okay, but I just want look at this one. So when you see them on TV,
yeah,
something like this celebrations,
yeah.
I didn't know one person pinpointed problems. I will cast it. I didn't know one person catch it. Say, okay, this is the problem.
It's simple because look, they don't want to go away from what they don't want to think, outside the box. Okay, they still want to, live within the confines of, the colonial design economy because it benefit them.
Now, one person can say all is well.
Because look, if he's supposed to provide water, quality drinking water for every Ghanaian, what it means that there won't be enough money for his luxurious life. Okay, so let me tell you, all is well, so that I can reserve the money and take care
enjoy my life.
Kind of life I want to live in. Okay, because look, what is our population?
Just
27 million. How many MPs do you have? 200 what? 75 for what? What do we need them for? What do we need them for?
They are representing their constituency.
Okay, so what is the purpose of it? The essence of it all is what? To ensure that look, your constituents are better represented. Okay?
Okay.
Your constituents are better represented in their field wherever they are.
Yes.
Okay? Their needs and wants are represented, okay, at various points. For example, they get access to good drinking water, they get access to, quality health care, they have access to, quality education. Okay? This is the basis. This is what representation of your constituents means. So if you're representing your people and the people still do not have all the basics of life and all what they get is you having luxurious life, then what representation are you giving them? Because after all, it's your life which is better, but theirs life is still deteriorating each day and each night. So what representation are you giving them? Which of our MPs is not driving a Land Cruiser?
V8.
Which of them is not driving?
They are using it.
But the people know them. When they have not gone to parliament, they cannot even afford to buy a saloon car. Okay? So if you tell me that the purpose of voting for them to go there because you want many people to be able to represent the people, then what representative are they giving us? Because after all, we don't get any ton of them. So what can you cut this number, save the money, and give the people the basis of life? Look, we can make it. That's why I said, look, our definition is two. One with hope and one with hopelessness, depending on the decision we take today. If our leadership today would, make a resolution and say, look, from today, never again are we going to allow ministers to fly first class. Okay? We're going to save the money and provide the people with the base of life. We are heading towards progress. Never again are we going to buy Land Cruisers, okay, for our ministers. Never again, every occasion, being what Nkrumah birthday, being Independence Day, we're not going to buy new luxurious cars and drive in. We will make progress. Okay? Never again are we going to deploy, states machineries where president needs to go to Kumasi to do something and convoy that for him is almost about 30. Each of them fuel,
yes,
okay, with air condition. Sometimes if a minister was here in a program, right, he'll be sitting there having program, but the car engine is on.
Yeah, car
because if you put it on, the car is going to get hot and the minister will not sit in that car.
Okay? Or a big man.
Because the cost does not affect him. After when you want to come, is me and you.
Yeah, taxpayers' money.
That's it. Okay, so if we're going to do away with all these things and channel a path, and look, I have a lot of hope in the president,
yeah, in his statements,
in the sense that look, he is, you know, a mature person.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think he need to still go into what I call the youthful life. Okay. So if he want to leave a legacy, okay, he can make it. But if he want to go with the system, which is the colonial design system, which is buying Land Cruisers, paying expensive per diem, okay, then we will go nowhere. We will still be where we are today. In 10 years, we'll come back and still say the same thing.
Okay, that is your man, ideas man, Isa Ibrahim. Wache ni mabi ani so. Obi cap na ni akire, obi gya nani aso. Yensu yenhwe bi ni evansu ade. Straight away, mama ko Mr. Shays Girls or Mr. Shays Girls. So I just want to ask you. So now that we have identified the problems surrounding our leaders, what do the citizens do to get the right life or better life?
As my brother was just saying, some of the things that the leaders are doing, but let's be honest, the people have to also rise up and say, we are not going to accept this. We're not going to accept you as a leader telling us our government schools are good, yet none of your children go there. We're not going to accept you telling us our hospitals are good, but when your children are sick, you send them to Germany, you send them to Australia. How can you be telling us that the system is working, but you don't use it?
Can that happen in where you're coming from?
It can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere.
So in terms of rising up, in what way?
What percentage of the people, as my brother talking about, we are over 90% of the people. It can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. These are the power, I said this to you in the last program. These are the power. That percentage of people can control any small minority that they want. The problem is the will. We have to stop being impressed by the four-wheel drive Land Cruisers. We ourselves are giving them the encouragement to do this. Because when they come through and they drive these cars, everyone is cheering like
cheering
this.
Them, honorable,
though they are doing nothing. So we are encouraging them. So though he is right, if we continue to encourage people to buy these cars, drive your business class, and when they come, we are patting them on the back, this is a great man because he's business class, then what do you expect him to do? He's going to continue. It's up to that's where I always put the emphasis, not so much on the leadership, but those who are being led. Because they are the ones that are going to force the leadership to say, you don't impress me with your four-wheel drive. You don't impress me with all the things you are doing and showing and the great clothes you are wearing from Italy and Spain. I'm not impressed. What are you doing for us? Why am I drinking this type of water, as my brother said? Why are we suffering? Why are we in the dark?
So people have to ask all these questions.
Ask and demand. Is there anybody, during the Dumso we had last year and last few years, none of the ministers had Dumso.
Because
they didn't have any.
Because they were all having generators.
And solar and anything they need. So when we said 12 hours in the dark, they were enjoying. How can you expect them to care about those things if they are not suffering those things? So that's why I said to you that the people are going to be the one that determine, as my brother says, hope or hopelessness. If you leave it to the current situation, I don't care what government it is, we're going back down the road of hopelessness.
Do you have belief in this current administration? Believe that they can do something?
They won't change.
They won't change.
No, they won't
because
change.
of what?
Because
the system is there.
Because even though I like the leader himself, he doesn't have enough support. Where's he going to get the support from? Let's be honest. Where is he going to get the cabinet people that don't want to do the things my brother just said?
But they said they have it.
Well, they're always going to tell you that. Who is going to? Is a thief going to tell you he's a thief?
Yes.
No. They're always going to tell you that things are coming. I have confidence as you hear them that things will get better. That's what they say.
It's such a political platform.
What else can he say? Can he come and say, I'm not sure if things will get better, but I'll try? No one would vote for him. People like to hear these words, these key words that people use. I have confidence, things will get better. I have confidence. So we have to, as my brother was saying, I agreed with everything he said, only that more emphasis has to be put. More people like this have to come forward and make themselves heard and say, we are not going to put up with you telling us that this is okay for us, but it's not okay for you.
So let me ask this, where you are coming from, that's UK, our colonial masters. What is the difference between them and us? Because we are all human beings and we want development in our life. What is the difference between their leaders and our leaders?
The difference is they've passed through a situation where you call industrialization. They've passed through a period they call themselves enlightenment, where they don't leave everything to God. We are still leaving everything to God. We do every Sunday. We go and we pray. And,
your problem. God will do it. God will.
God, that's they don't do that anymore. What Western power it believes everything to God. They are the ones doing the thing themselves. So we are still in that situation. We haven't come into a position of enlightenment where we understand that God helps those who help themselves. So, and if we're going to continue to do what we do and put that, but then obviously things won't change. We have to take, responsibility is the ability to respond. And far as I'm concerned, if you don't take responsibility, you can't talk to me about any God. No, you can't. You're not going to see any God while you walk around this place. You're not going to see anyone come down and fix the roads or clear the gutters. Where's the God to do that? It has to be somebody looks like me or you that's going to do that. So we have to be responsible.
So brand I just need one word, like brand our celebration for 60 years. If I give you the chance to brand it, how are you going to brand it for? In what way, what style do you want us to celebrate it?
Well, I don't know. People can celebrate the 60 years that they had today anyhow they want. For me, there are those who know, like my brother was saying, the hope or hopelessness. It's about going forward, not going back. If you're going to look backwards, we should be in mourning.
We should be mourning.
We should be in mourning.
A national day of mourning.
We should be in mourning for 60 years of what's happened. We should be in mourning.
Okay, hold your fire. That's Mr. Shades Girls. Or say, as a sanky yesu. Yes, na ye say 60 years. Ya mobra. Because we nipa kranka wako pension. 60 years. Wa retire. Any job ya ubefie. Na ubefie, what is the legacy? Ejafade be na odi jaomwa. Ti so ti abeti. Straight away, ambassador. Baby, what time? They say, woman, a colonial master, that Breton for you. Omo hide bibi from us, young everyman yen to me developer, and I say, yeah, you say, yes, our PhDs, our doctrines, our school, whatever academics.
Oh, and I mean, you can. Oh, you will be a say. And ye, a Joe, we are say. And they say, ye, we are say, Juma. Oh, Betty for buyer, no. Over the name baby that die. You mean cousin Yamasumi you? Yamasumi a good pa, but the more what did Yamasuni we say, why too soft?
So the religion a kilo,
yes. And you may be as I think we now did it spring up with things, no. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, me you and yet so. And then Emma, you couldn't as Emma, yang, your development as a young and my young father. Na ye dia fa nyamesom muni kristo muni ade obi ye boni you can punish him or don't do this and no ma ye different e catchire et sign and your education so e weak. Let me tell you something. Recently na me madam professor bi ejina ho na me join ye di ngoma na obi a ye ponte no MP just this year o
amanfo ato abama
this year now down, look. Honorable. Oh, and you want to can be.
As a
professor. I'm expecting you to educate the people. Before one country will be so honorable. No, why you be now honorable? What does it mean called MPs honorable?
And so we are just honoring them with nothing, with non degrees.
What has he done? All the MPs no dia no maya
almost
they don't follow it.
Okay.
Obuni so ne so dia no maya pa ma say ya MP ne call Bantman what ma boy ya see hospital school roads ni be bia say nka eni ho say gutter ni ade na ma etwoku ni waye one of your friends say honorable. Let me tell something. First time in history, opposition leader or is opposition leader Idrusu
which is the minority.
Yeah, minority.
Idrusu.
Good. Otimi e come for Nanado say the budget na oye no very good. The first time in history. So which means education is too low in the country. Oh, yeah, the adwin na as the menu can say Chrysosum. Yabo Chrysosum na akoba bibia obi abonia you can't say anything. You can't punish him. Now why just a jana say
say your spirit and the boldness no way you're killing religion.
You're killing their spirit. You're killing their but you can't leave this earth with such things. Yeah, so nyame we follow God.
You say nyame ne bo wi
Oh,
ase.
the boy we are here. And so, Emra, is there for phone no contact another what they say leader no?
Okay.
He warned them.
Okay.
Nyame na warn you. And name on befam.
Okay.
Enti say yeah, we are sitting there, see the we are so no atoto ho.
Se pese tena wi ase we dia. Ese ye wi ase ne ma no. Ne build ye man no.
Yes, ye build ye man no.
Because ese nipa didi ese wo da ese wo no. Na sa wo so wonya sa ne ma ne dia.
During the revolution time no. Na what is it? Sorry. During the revolution time no. You will say companies be managers who were upon here no use government car. During the weekends no we use government car. What they call ye, what they call hospital, what they call church. You will say consume too much.
Obo manika.
Obo manika. And say yes stop the lobby yes stop that system no stop way. And so na ye penning for ye wo ye mu so no use bi.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Ambassador Anopoku. Was he any baby akọ. I just man, mamra hold the next minute. Say no. Who solution be out the Magana for Nankasa? Make a Ghana for ordinary person. Yen spirit in do you have any that solution?
Okay. Well, yes, I think going forward, what we need to do as citizens, okay, is rise up. Wherever you find
in what way? Rise up in what way?
Start holding the people in authority accountable. Okay, wherever you find yourself. If you're in the village and you have an assemblyman, okay, and it's not performing his duties, hold him accountable. Ask him questions. Okay, if you see your MP bring, $100,000 Land Cruiser there, look, tell them, look, we don't want this. Okay, we want good drinking water. We want good health care. If you bring Land Cruiser here again, we're going to seize the car and we will sell it and buy those things. Okay, let them begin to understand that we are not interested in the luxurious life. Okay, we are interested in the basis of life, which will better the lot, not only the colonial design kind of system which they are following. That's not what we need. We will need a system that would ensure that every Ghanaian can have decent meal. We want a system that will ensure that every graduate can get at least a factory to go and work in. We want a system that would ensure that every woman will go to the hospital and be able to deliver safe, like it's done in the United States, like it is done in Canada, like it is done in any part of the world, but not what we experience in Ghana.
Okay, hold your fire. I'm call telephone or somewhere. Sebe, okasafi sebi, mamintio. Hello.
Hello.
Sebe ni.
If I tell family Sebe, make a sense.
Okay, Kazamiti.
Now, the program now, manage one of the bomb kakra.
Kasa.
If I tell the program now, manage one of the bomb kakra.
Okay, Mitio Kasa.
And if I saw man wake up no. But I say Nyankopo will do maybe or Panishipa. Israel for do maybe no. Omudi when we kumomo den krabai. Krabai. It's a time of Ghana. Your man nyina timi to yi. Wo pa se hia hanuma the abosom person so. The deputy former deputy regional former deputy minister for natural resources. The need so nyina say. Na we are bumai. Masa galam se fu ase kuro ni nyina be re nsuo wa se so munya binom. It's your time, sometimes when you 1 month of a what 1 and gear, you are so sure to be near the amount of 1 1 day. Oh, that is one and four.
Okay.
You have to one and four.
All right, Medase. Okay, Medase. Abu Watamale, Mamintio.
Hello.
Abu, what to say?
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon. Mamintio, Gentium.
Yeah, I'm calling from Tamale.
Right.
Yeah, I want to contribute to your program.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, so I'm saying that it's like no matter what, even though we have not devolved to some extent, but I mean, considering the peace that we are enjoying, I think I think we should not be mourning. Just as to one of your panelists, alluded to. We should not be mourning. So if only we are not devolved, but we have our peace that we are also enjoying. So even for that one alone, we will consider countries like Sierra Leone and then the other areas like the war-torn zone areas. So, I mean, if we consider ourselves to them, so I think we have to look to the morning rather. Thank you.
All right. But that's also do agent chira. But for our TV, no, reduce the volume so that we can talk. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Open your frost and
Yeah, they make us see people in the central region.
Okay, young quite intensive.
All right, okay. I want to contribute to the program. The kind of say, Ghana, there's a lot of things that we need to do. I think we fair not all cafe peace. I think we can't eat peace. You need to eat the peace. You need the peace. If you have things and you don't have water to drink, what is the essence of the peace that we are talking about? It is our fundamental needs that we need to have. Okay, so if you stop talking about peace, yes, peace is good, but if you have peace and you don't have food to eat, what is the essence of the peace that we are talking about? And I'm better than Canada.
Okay, me that say. Offer our TV no, ya na match mu every TV. So we are kasa yeso ye beti. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Francis, I say.
Yeah, I'm having now so.
Ya ho ye, my contentium.
There's a camera kind of the program I'm with the but Ghana people, if you are moving now, at least 25 years now, work now. What the enemy and no marketing to go back up nice to see the name of one of my and yep, so yeah, then you get a program and the teaching program on my said the course on my temple for the moment.
Okay, continue to watch this show. It's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we are 2 p.m. sharp. Straight away. Your best 7 minutes now, young corner. Mommy, mobile too. Okay, mommy, pick a last caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Open your frost, your casa free.
You're from Felix, because of the
Felix, young Quentin.
Me, I'm a person which I'm adding on. As country as we are born so far. Now, I'm expecting there to be a president or engineering inclined. A vice president or engineering inclined. And I can give you a typical example or a pragmatic example. If you look at this Singapore, well, they don't have anything, but they depend on the human resources. The government is investing hugely in education. If you say, and I say in Victoria, a block, that now give me a fee, near this, near that. It's not all these people. Say accountants, we should put them behind. If we are able to employ or even appoint ministers,
okay. Right.
The country will move forward.
Okay. Me da say also we do adwenkyere aba straight away Ghana for akasa yenso ye be call enche be ye be sorry time bre na so mama sha say free ambassador 1 minute.
Okay.
Highlight some factors we are consider as betime develop Ghana na ya build better future for Ghanaian youth.
I say love.
Love one.
Yeah, love to our country.
I say nya odomo man
nankasa. Enye nipa nankasa. O man nankasa no e say nya love man no. Ye hu say ye bi da hodachi e de amayema. Na de ba san de be ka kire nkwara no say me betra akonwa no so no. Na me ba o man no mu no. Say my yaye. Ye nya ko wo hwe at the back say bi ka kan no a. Ye no 60. Ko ya wosi lot of things. Enti say na say pese eniem ko ye dia yenya lack pa mo no na yenya lack ma o man no a corruption bejai corruption so na kill o man because the whole world obi adu say Ghana ye corruption country Nigeria Ghana corruption country but it's true just because there was that me kwakra am me body camera e se mo ti me to aduade bi them do it na police for no eyo check na me check na say bi as we did bidim kokko na me na sika no 1 pound no 1 cedi no waji e wura sha
police officer.
Police. How say ekro?
Baby I was trying to mean say no. UK or yensa.
Oh, UK. Developing countries like UK. Everybody is learning from UK. You can't do that in UK. UK has developed.
Okay, may I say. Mr. Chase.
Yes, sir.
We are about to go.
Yes, sir.
But I want you to highlight maybe 1 or 2 factors that we should consider as a country, as a people, for us to develop our nation, our nation.
I'm gonna go with my brothers here and to demand the people rise up and hold accountable the people who are in power. They have to do that. You can have all the pretty solutions you want, but until the people say no more, it will continue. And it's continued. And we've had 60 years of it. And everybody who's come to power, eventually the system has collapsed. We're on the 4th Republic now, so let's see what happens to this time. But it's not very encouraging, because you see people today who are in power, who are using their power to hoodwink the people into believing they're doing something for them, but we don't see it. We don't see on the roadside. We don't see the development. Where is it? Just show us the development. You don't as there's an old saying: the longer a politician speaks, the less work he's done.
Okay.
You see, we can see if you've done something. You don't have to spend 2 hours to tell us. We can see it. We live in it. So when you're up there for 2 hours talking about all the things you've done for Ghana, we don't see it.
Okay, Mr. Chase, most grateful. Ideas man, we are about to go. Any format or any path plan for Ghanaians to follow so that we can attain a better future?
All right. In going forward, concluding, I think one is like I indicated before, we have to hold leadership accountable. We have to rise up and start.
And we don't have that way.
And that is, you see, that's why I say, I told you last time I make indication. I see now the media, which is supposed to, emancipate the people, educate the people, they've joined forces with the politicians, and suppressing the will of the people.
Media.
Okay, so it's hard time the media, okay, stop these things, okay, and start giving the people education, okay, so the people can start rise up. Because look, I can still communicate, but 80% of the population is so ignorant, they're illiterate.
Yes.
Okay, and even the few educated are what are called, educated ignorance. Okay, so they don't even understand, they don't even know these are their rights, which you're supposed to demand. So it's the media responsibility to help educate them so that they can start demanding these things. Okay?
Okay.
2, I wouldn't trick the government. Look, you see, like you said, hey, I said UK is able to work, isn't it?
Yes.
Because in UK, there is what I call a check for the watchman. But in Ghana, who watches the watchman?
That's
the police officer is in the security, taking all the bribe, but there's nobody. But in America, why you just stop me? The camera is there watching him. So everything he's doing, he's conscious that, look, if he make mistake, he'll be in trouble.
Okay, that is the man, ideas man, Mr. Isa Ibrahim, most grateful. Sasana, Mr. Shesges, most grateful. And Openi and Ambassador, Openi Midas, some in a two Safran Nova. Yes, I drove a joa airtrema. I said, I casatentis on the Yanam from Subi Program hot. The attention Ghana, said the Ekano, also be quiet for some rising, your personal rising. You to me, borders our heart now, because Malaysia be fair, Abe, Ghana, and they were making use of Abena, yet the boy Ben quite chopping for Banku, and no, you free, palm tree. It if I was running in an ISM, I had trust TV, yet the program say, you have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. But trust TV, from what she about Kwabna, I'm for bill. The Tiana security, I said, Mamma, no, we asked him, with Director Adams, with Sana Tobra, Tiwa Adams, and Afe, and us, peace. Poku, Caribbean, the Munina wants some boy, my program is successful. Until then, shalom.
And if I'm much with you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Jatabiribo, Odehyeeba, edwenani ba wodija, wonum jana wo fija. Genti obia, wan ye betie, wuntie kwa wo betie. By force, na wuntie a wo betie.